This video is part of a series. To better understand it, I highly recommend watching the series in order. I hope you enjoy it. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Pray that I do not flee in fear of the wolves were the words spoken by Pope Benedict XVI when appointed to the pontificate. There are many rumors and speculations as to what led him to resign on February 11, 2013. Doing research for this video, I came across a lot of enlightening and disturbing information. From Freemasonic cardinals to the cover-up of sex scandals and the mafia's hand in the Vatican Bank, all of which plagued the faith and started from around the pontificate of Pope John the 23rd. To say that Belladonna, the Alta Vendita, and Our Lady's warnings are true are an understatement. The smoke of Satan has indeed entered the church. The infiltration is real, and like I stated before, we are about to see the so-called fruits of this infiltration and the setup of the false church right before our eyes. In 2005, as Pope Benedict was walking the Stations of the Cross, upon reaching the 9th station, he stopped and denounced all the filth that was in the church. He said, quote, "It is not the people from outside that bring filth into the church. It is from within that makes it dirty." End quote. He then vowed to clean it up. The Vatican Bank, or Institute of Religious Works, was founded in 1942 by Pope Pius XII. It is governed by 5 cardinals and a board of superintendents. Pope Benedict installed Cardinal Bertone as Secretary of State to handle the governance curia. The Vatican Bank was a system all their own and did not need to answer to the Italian government. Eventually, tough banking laws were instituted across Italy. The Vatican Bank under Bertone refused transparency, so the Italian finance police began an investigation. Pope Benedict was furious to learn of this matter, and he hired banker Gotti Tedeschi as president of the bank to reform and clean it up. But Cardinal Bertone would stand in his way, and Gotti Tedeschi would soon be fired. Pope Benedict would learn of his termination from the Vatican News television later that evening. It is said by those closest to him that when he heard of the news, he cried. In 2007, much to the dismay of the modernists or wolves in the mist, he would write his Summorum Pontificum, which preserves the traditional or Tritadine Latin Mass pre-Vatican II. Pope Benedict only had a handful of bishops and cardinals around him who he could trust. This included Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano, Spanish Cardinal Julian Herranz, former Archbishop of Palermo, Cardinal Salvatore Di Giorgi, and Slovak Cardinal Joseph Tomko. In 2009, Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano was appointed by Pope Benedict as Secretary General of Vatican City. He was also placed to help clean up the corruption in the Vatican City government. During his time, he discovered that the bank account was in a $10.5 million deficit. In 3 letters written by him to Pope Benedict, he spoke about the widespread corruption, fake expenses, and other matters that he uncovered. He also spoke of threats that he was receiving. He was able to reduce overheads and bring the account up to $44 million in his first year. But of course, the wolves would have it out for him. Those above him issued a statement against him, calling him a liar and accusing him of corruption. In August 2011, Benedict would appoint Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano as papal nuncio to the United States in D.C. It would later be known that he was sent to secretly investigate none other than Cardinal McCarrick, who we heard briefly about in St. Gallen. Shortly after, in 2012, documents were leaked to a reporter by the Pope's butler, Paolo Gabriele. He claimed that he wanted to protect the Pope from all of the sleaze and corruption around him. This became known throughout Italy as Fatty Leaks. It became widely known that politicians, businessmen, and the mafia used the Vatican Bank to hide money, as well as numerous sex scandals and self-advancements, to say the least. Paolo would eventually be convicted of breaching security by stealing classified documents and releasing them to the press. He was sentenced to 18 months in jail. Cardinal Bertone would be implicated in various scandals that was released from the VatiLeaks documents, including purchasing a €23 million apartment for, quote, personal reasons. Benedict would then commission a private investigation, appointing 3 cardinals to the task. It is said that they came back in December of 2012 with a 300-page dossier in which they documented deep financial and moral corruption. But unfortunately, a month and a half later, Pope Benedict would succumb to the pressure. It is rumored from people close to him that he began receiving death threats. It is also said that the hierarchy was itching to install someone who would complete their agenda. By several witnesses present, it is said that Cardinal Martini told him in 2012, quote, "The Curia is not going to change. You must go," end quote. Cardinal Martini, a Jesuit, died in August 2012. It came out shortly before his death that he was a member of the Italian Masonic Lodge. The Grand Orient d'Italia openly mourned his death when he passed. Martini, who called himself the Anti-Pope and a precursor and preparer of the Holy Father, was also a member of the St. Gallen Mafia, as we saw before. This was also confirmed when another member of the St. Gallen Mafia, Cardinal Danels, in an interview before his death, called the group, quote, the Mafia, and admitted that they had a hand in the election of Francis. Cardinal Danels, in a 2013 interview with a Dutch newspaper, openly called for the legalization of gay civil unions and abortion in Belgium. Now, there are many rumors and speculations as to what led to Pope Benedict to resign on February 11, 2013. But Our Lady warned us in La Salette. She said, "The priests, ministers of my Son, the priests, by their wicked lives, by their irreverence and their impiety in the celebration of the holy mysteries, by their love of money, their love of honors and pleasures, the priests have become cesspools of impurity." Yes, the priests are asking for vengeance, and vengeance is hanging over their heads. Woe to the priests and to those dedicated to God who by their unfaithfulness and their wicked lives are crucifying my Son again. But of course, only Pope Benedict and God know the true reason. Either way, the night that he resigned, lightning struck the Vatican twice, in what many true bishops and cardinals called the beginning of the end.